Yeah, yeah. All right, well, I'm going to mute everybody. Let's get started. All right, go ahead and find the end of your mat. Good, and just take some deep breaths here and start to roll your shoulders. Good, take those hands by your side, and I want you to keep them on either side of you, and I just want you to come side to side and just find your breath here, just easing over, keeping your shoulders right over your hips so we're not bending forward at all. Just feel that stretch down the side of your body. Good, just a couple more. And then we're going to keep the same motion, but we're going to add the arms. So just start coming all the way up. Right. And then the other side, all the way up. Good. Keep going. Good, and a couple more. And this time, arrive at the top, take both arms up. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, clasp your hands, open your heart. Squeeze those shoulder blades back. Take a breath here. Soften your knees and just soft fold down to the floor. Feel that roundness in your spine. Bring your hands above your knees. Good. And now we take the roundness out. Pick up your head, pick up your tailbone, drop your shoulder blades down towards your hips. Standing cow. Take a big breath in this pose. Feel the ribs expand. And now exhale, curl up. Chin to the chest, pubic bone, tucking under. Take a big breath here. Exhale, come all the way back down into standing cow. Take another big breath. And exhale up. Take a big breath. Good. Now straighten your back as you go for your shins. It might be your ankles, depending on your flexibility. But now we're in standing extension. Our back is straight. Take a breath. Good. Now our hamstrings aren't that warm. We're going to fold here, but I don't want you to push. Just let yourself hang. Step back with your right foot. Inhale, leave your right hand on the floor and revolve your lunge. Big sweeping breath forward, coming up to high lunge. Shoulders are over the hips here. And let your hands come to the floor. Spread those fingers out, hands under the shoulders. Step back to downward dog. Good. Let's pedal the legs here, right and left, pressing the heels down. See if you can feel that stretch, not just in your calf, but all the way behind your knee and all the way up the hamstring into the hip. Lengthen your spine. Good. Find a breath. And we're going to come forward into plank. Inhale, big breath here. Now exhale, push back up into downward dog. Drive those heels down. Open the heart. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale up. And inhale forward. And exhale up. And big breath in plank. Chaturanga. So lower down to up dog. Sit the hips back, knees apart, toes together. Child's pose. Reach out for the top of your mat. Once you get down, take a shoulder roll here to really settle the heart toward the floor. Come up to your tabletop. And we'll go into cow here. Take a deep breath. Spread out the rib cage here. Exhale up into cat. Big breath in cat. Exhale down into cow. Big breath in cow. Exhale up into cat. Inhaling cat. Exhale down into cow. And inhale. And exhale up. Find a neutral spine. And then we'll come back to the shins. Good. Step forward with your left leg. And we're in this kneeling lunge here. I just want you to leave your hands by your side. Try to get your hip in the back, forward of your knee in the back. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing we did standing. We're going to go from one side to the other. So make sure that your stance is wide enough. And we're just keeping the shoulders over the hips. So notice I'm not bringing my chest down. I'm keeping my shoulders back over my hips. You might not reach the floor here. That is okay here because we're moving and we're not holding. If we were holding and you couldn't reach the floor, we'd want to put our hand on our hip. But since we're moving here, that's okay. You couldn't touch the floor when you were standing either. Good. Back and forth. Feel the ligaments in your hips and what they're doing there for you. Good. Couple more on each side. Good. Bring your hands to the floor. Take your right leg. Step up into a lunge. And then I want you to step halfway in and split your fold. Now your hamstring's probably pretty tight here. Could just be me. Good. Now what I want you to do is look forward and drop your knees. So it's just like you're going to start a race. Inhale. And now exhale. Pick it up. Drive that back heel to the floor. Good. And come back down. It's a little like a soft fold with one leg. And up. And down. And up. And down. Really lengthening that left hamstring here. One more time. Up. And down. While you're down, step in with your right foot. And then straighten. Now you should feel that your right leg is not as loose as your left. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, unhinge all the way back up. We're going to inhale, bring your left arm up. Good. Now turn to your right and look at the back of your right heel. Good. Bring that down. Inhale up with your right. Turn and look at the back Look at your left heel. Bring both hands up and come into heart center. Inhale. Exhale, hinge and fold. Step back with your left. Leave your left hand on the floor. Good, and we revolve our lunge. Good. Big sweep, coming up into high lunge. And hands to the floor, wrists under the shoulders, step back to downward dog. And we're going to pedal those feet again. If you want to do something different, you can always lift and lower both legs this time at the same time, or continue with the pedaling. Again, feel that stretch all the way up into the hip. And find your plank. Big breath here. Now exhale, big exhale. Push the hips up, heels down. Wrap the belly button around your spine. Inhale. And exhale, push back. Inhale. Exhale, push back. And inhale. Exhale, push back. And inhale, Chaturanga to up dog. Sit back, child's pose. And we'll come to our tabletop. Sink down into your cow. Really focus on the expansion of the ribs here. Curl up into cat. And sink. Now, especially in cow, it's easy to feel the ribs in front of you. Focus on the ribs behind you on that inhale. And curl up into cat. Again, think about the ribs behind you. And come all the way up to your knees. And now we're going to step forward with the right leg. Again, make sure that your width is good. Just settle in. Good. Make sure that it's not really leaning back. We're just keeping the shoulders over the hips here. Good. It doesn't matter which way you go first. Just begin to go straight over and straight over. You're not glued to the floor. If you need to move that front leg and adjust for balance, do that. Good. Now make sure when you're doing this that the arm that's going up or the shoulder that's going up, make sure you're not shrugging that into your ear. Keep your shoulders heavy, right? This is really about the spine and the hips. Because they're connected. Couple more. Good. Now we're going to lift into a lunge. Step halfway in with your left. And now we're going to push back. Take a breath. And here we go. Bend like you're going to start a race. Lift your head. And then exhale and push. Forehead toward the shin. Inhale, doubt, heart on the leg, lifting, looking beyond you, and then exhale, forehead toward the shin. Inhale down, and exhale up. Inhale down, and exhale up. Down, and up. Now come down and step in, inhale, and then exhale, straighten both legs. Put those hands where they need to be. Maybe they're on your ankles, your feet, maybe they're on your shins or the floor. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, unhinge. Roll your shoulders at the top. We should be pretty warm. Take a breath. Exhale into heart center, mountain pose. And join me with another breath. And forward hinge and fold. Push those hips towards the back of your mat. Step back with your right leg. Inhale, revolve your lunge. Good. And then just like before, we're coming up into a high lunge. Good. Now dive to the floor with both hands and turn your right foot. Straighten your leg. Take a breath. I'm going to clap my hands together here next to my left shin. On my exhale, I'm opening into triangle. My legs are straight, pulling my right hip toward the ceiling. Good. Now clap your hands back together down there on your leg. Your knee is going to go straight forward. Good. And then you're going to open up again. Good. Now, if you need to support and put your left hand on, or your left arm on your left leg, you can do that. Clap together again, straighten, and open up. Of course, you can always put your hand on your shin or use a yoga block here. Clap together, bend, and exhale and open. Oh, maybe we can go a little further on that one, right? Good. Straighten and unhinge. Good. Inhale up. Exhale the warrior two. Pull those shoulders back. Straighten again. Inhale up. Grab your front hand, that should be your left. Pull that to your spine behind you. Good. Now push your hips forward. Legs are strong here. Look up at the ceiling. Exhale, bend that front knee one more time. Hands come to the floor. Take your left leg up to three-leg dog. Good. Now come up onto the ball of your right foot. Drive your forehead towards your knee. Your spine does round here. Knee tuck. Now exhale. Drop that right heel. Open your heart. Straighten your spine. Lift your leg. Inhale. Exhale. Knee tuck. Inhale. Push away. Exhale. Knee tuck. Inhale, push away. Exhale, knee tuck. Inhale, push away. And now bring that left leg out to the side and drop into your hips. So it's like an up dog. We're just splitting it in half. Really think about pressing your right leg into the floor. Let that right hip flexor relax. Good. We're going to thread the needle with your right hand. Drop your right shoulder to the floor and reach for your left foot. Keep your right foot down there at the end active. So we don't want it to just get squishy. Keep it long. Take a breath. Open up that left shoulder to the floor. Now, if you can't reach your foot, that's okay. You can always just grab your calf. My leg goes all the way to the floor. Yours might not. That's okay. Try to get your left shoulder to the floor. If your arm is hanging out in space and that bothers your elbow, turn your palm down and then try to rest it on the floor there. If that doesn't feel good either, you can always put your hand on your rib cage and just work on opening the shoulder. You might feel your shoulder rise and fall with your breath. Just let that happen. Good. We're going to roll to the right side. Take your left leg. I want you to put your knee to the ceiling. So my shin is parallel with the ceiling. Good. I'm going to press my hip. So I'm actually pushing my left hip this way. Right, toward the way I'm looking as I pull my knee back. Good. Now you have some options here. You can big toe hold. You can grab your foot. You can also, if you want a little extra challenge today, reach beyond your thigh in the front, grab your heel, and then try to extend. Good. Release that. Roll to your belly, please. Hands by your heart. Good. Push yourself up through cobra. Put the feet together and child's pose. Come on up to tabletop. Good. Lift your right arm. Good. And we're going to thread the needle. Set your right shoulder on the floor. So exactly where we just were, right? Take that left arm and try to walk your hand behind your head. I don't mean literally. I mean, if I just reach straight up, it's slightly in front of the top of my head, right? I want to walk it so that I'm going toward the corner of the top of my mat behind me. That's going to let me open up toward the ceiling a little more. So for me, I'm reaching my left arm toward the right corner of the top of my mat. Come back up to the center. Roll up to our shins here. Reach your arms behind you. Now you can clasp, you can crisscross. I'm crisscrossing. You can go to reverse prayer. Do whatever you need to do here. Good. Just add a little here. So kind of like a baby camel. Good. And I want you to just go ear to shoulder. Good. Relax your arms. Step forward with your left leg. Inhale up into this kneeling lunge. And now we are only going to go in one direction. Go toward your front leg, toward your left. Reach for the floor right below your hip, right below it. So if you cannot reach the floor, put your hand on the hip. Do not hover in space. Now, if you need a little more, take a breath and look up at your top hand. There's a little hip rotation there you should feel. Good. And come down. Lift into your lunge. Step in and just meet me at the top of your mat. Standing extension. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze. Unhinge up into that parallel stance, your mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands into heart center. And inhale. Forward hinge and fold. Step back with your left leg. Leave your left hand down and revolve your lunge. And just like before, sweep up into a big high lunge. Now you're going to bring both hands to the floor. Turn your back foot. Bring your left or right hand to the inside of your right foot and straighten your legs. Pull that left hip up to the ceiling with your left hand. Your right knee is going toward the top of your mat. Turn your core and clap your hands together. Take a breath and open up again with this leg bent. Now, I'm reaching the floor here personally, but I'm not putting my weight into it. My hand is just down there. Clap the hands together. Inhale, straighten. Exhale and open. Clap the hands together. Bend that front knee. Open again. Clap the hands together. Straighten and unhinge. Good. Take a breath up. And exhale, warrior two. Pull those arms back. Good. Straighten your leg. Inhale up. Left hand grabs the right. Try to set your right hand flat on your back. Take a breath. And bend that right knee. And both hands are coming to the floor. Kick your right leg up into three-leg dog. Roll up onto the ball of your left foot. Inhale. Now exhale. Curl your spine. You are coming forward a little bit. Knee to forehead. Inhale up. Push the left heel down. Exhale, knee tug. And lift. And come forward. One more lift. And come forward. And lift. Set that foot out to the side into your split leg up dog. Good. So drop that left hip to the floor. Good. Keep your shoulders out of your ears. And let's thread the needle here. So we're going to take the left shoulder to the floor. Grab your right foot. Keep your left leg long. Good. And we're going to open up the right shoulder. Now, if you have to grab a different part, so maybe on the other side, you could only grab your calf, but now you get to your foot. That's fine. Just be where you are on this side. Just honor where you're at. This is more than just grabbing your leg, right? This is your hip, your core, your shoulders. I've seen people who can't open all the way up on this because their chest muscles, the pectoralis complex, is too tight. That's what stops them from rotating. So just honor where you're at. Breathe into this. So we're going to roll everything to the right. Take your right shin, that's your top leg, parallel to the ceiling. Good. I'm just going to pull my knee backward as I press my right hip forward. Staying on my side. Good. We're going to big toe hold. Or you can just grab your ankle on the inside here. Or reach past your leg to the outside of your foot and lift here. Good. Release that and roll to your belly. Push yourself up and back into child's pose. and come up to tabletop. So we're lifting our left shoulder, our left arm, and now we're bringing that left shoulder through. Good. With your right hand, reach out to the top of your mat and walk your hand to the top left corner. Feel how that opens up your spine. Come back up to heart center or heart center, tabletop, and then roll up to your shins. Get your balance. We're going to step forward with our right leg. And inhale, enjoy this kneeling lunge. And now we're leaning to our right under your hip. Really try not to lean forward toward that ankle. And if you want a little more, look up at that top hand. Hands to the floor. Lift your lunge. Step all the way in. Inhale, standing extension. And exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, and unhinge. Arrive at the top and just give me some shoulder rolls. Good. Clasp those hands or crisscross. So we did this on the other side from our kneeling. And we're just going to do that now from standing. This is our final mountain pose. And just drop ear to shoulder. Good. Release your arms and inhale. Exhale, hinge and fold. We're going to work our way into seated today. You can just sit down. If you want to go to downward dog first, you can. I'm just going to step one leg back and I'm going to come to seated. Good. I'm going to take my right knee, bring it in, and sit up really tall. Good. Crossing my right over my left. Good. Then I'm going to reach through this window here to the back of my left knee and roll myself back. Good. So I'm using my left leg here to pull in and get that stretch in my right hip. Good. Now I'm going to kick my left leg to sit myself back up. Take that right leg, cross it, and flat foot. Sit up tall. Find your posture. Exhale, look to your right. Good. Come back to the center. And we're going to happy baby. We haven't done this in a little while. So just listen. If you can, you're going to take your right foot. That's the one that's across my foot, my leg. And I'm going to wrap it to the bicep. Now, for some people, it's not comfortable, whether it's a knee issue. I'm kind of one of those people. So you can also just hold it at your wrist and your knee. Okay. Now, the main thing is, even if you can get it to your bicep, if it causes your posture to squinch backward, maybe undo so that you can sit up tall. And I'm just going to start moving my leg. It's really your hip. This is rock the baby. That's not shake the baby. Just rock the baby. Good. We're going to go back again. Holding that in. Let's focus breathing into our lower back this time. Now with your right hand, grab your right foot. Push your left foot to the floor. Push your right foot to the ceiling. Now it's actually okay here if your leg does not straighten, but better if it does, right? Open your left side up, glue this to the floor, and just begin to drop to the right. Now you might reach the floor like I'm doing, but you might be way up here too. That's okay. I want you to keep your left shoulder on the floor, and I want you to push your left leg down and your left hip down. It's okay if they're off the floor, but push them like you're trying to keep them there. Breathe into your belly. One more inhale. On your exhale, gather in, kick with both legs, sitting up. Now I'm going to take my left leg across my right, grab hold of behind that right leg and roll back. Pull in, using your leg to help you. Now I'm going to kick with my right leg to sit myself up. Take your left leg across your right leg, flat foot. Give yourself a hug. Find your posture first on your inhale, and then exhale and look to your left. No stress in the neck here. Come back to the center. We're going to kick back again into that piriformis stretch. Maybe a little further. Focus on your lower back. Head is on the floor. You're going to reach that right leg down and your left foot up. Again, you can big toe hold. Glue your right side to the floor. We're going to open up to the left. Same thing. Change the grip if you need to. You are driving that right knee, the back of your knee, toward the floor. Push that right hip toward the floor. Keep your right shoulder on the floor. And gather everything in. Good. Put your feet on the floor. Walk them out wide. Open your hands. And I just want you to windshield wiper, keeping your feet on the floor. As you get to one side, push. So I'm dropping my knees to the left. So I'm going to push my right hip up and my right knee down. And then as I windshield wiper to the right, I'm pushing my left knee down and my left hip up. And we switch again. Good. Come back to the center. And now if you'd like to lay those legs down, you can. Or if you want to leave them, knees together, feet apart. Your arms might still be out, and that's fine if that feels good. Or if you want to bring them in and set one hand on your belly, one hand under your heart. Begin feeling your body in contact with the floor. Just take some long, deep breaths, letting each one out like a sigh. And begin to feel your body in contact with the floor. Once more, wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, join me seated. Bring your hands into heart center. Take a deep breath up. Exhale. Reach out with those hands. Roll your shoulders. Lift your heart. And another breath. And bring the hands into heart center. And you guys, awesome class. God bless you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.